everyone, Chivo's here, bringing you another Hyundai A-League fixture review for the fixtures of week 22. Exciting weekend for me, I'll tell you that. You might find out later this week. You should do, so keep your eyes out for that. But the first game of the weekend saw Brisbane Roar beat Western Sydney Wanderers 3-2 in a top of the table clash. Now, Jamie McLaren scored early, as he normally does when he scored the opener for Roar after 5 minutes. Raw sailed comfortably throughout the game up until the 74th minute when Theo brought down Santalab inside the box. Theo did receive a yellow card. Andreu stepped up and slotted home to level the score. But that wasn't it. Castellan gave Western Sydney Wanderers the lead 4 minutes later when he beat 3 defenders before slotting home to make it 2-1. The lead didn't last long though, because 3 minutes later, Jamie McLaren bagged his second of the game. He levelled the score when he found at the back of the net. Quite good, but then one of the youngsters of the month so far this season, I think it was youngster of the month, NAB, a young player of the month for January, Petratos. He scored the third for Brisbane 2 minutes later, thanks to a great pass from Enrique. Now, Petratos took a one touch to beat Reddy and give Brisbane the 3 points. A good result there for Brisbane. It is favouring other teams as well, but it does help them out a lot and helps them continue their title push. Now, the second game of the weekend saw an in-form Adelaide United climb to the top of the table when they beat Wellington Phoenix 4-0. McGowan scored the first for Adelaide in the first half when he scored his second ever A-League goal. Mork scored the second when he slotted home past Moss, thanks to a lovely through ball from Karuska. Now, GT didn't find much goal scoring form earlier in the season. He's found it now. When Adelaide need him, he has come to show up. And he added the third for Adelaide not long after the halftime break. But that wasn't it. Sanchez added the fourth, and he put the nail in the coffin when he scored the final goal of the game in the 90th minute. The win sees Adelaide United climb to the top of the table, and it sees their unbeaten run continue, which now stands at 14 games. A huge turnaround. They didn't win in their first 8, and now they've gone 14 unbeaten. Ridiculous turnaround for Adelaide United, but they've done a job, I'll tell you that. The third game of the weekend saw Melbourne City beat Sydney FC 3-0, thanks to a Bruno Fornaroli hat-trick. Now, Sydney FC did have a makeshift back four, as they did have 3 suspensions, but it's their own fault. Ill discipline is not what they needed, and it really did cost them. Now, the first goal from Fornaroli came from a great counter-attack in the 41st minute. City counter-attacking football is really working. Aaron Moy, I do believe, picked up yet another assist. Now, he added his second a lot later in the 71st minute with similar fashion to the first, when he did help with another counter-attack before finding the back of the net. And his third and final goal of the game came with 10 minutes left to play when he slotted home for his hat-trick and his 20th goal of the season. That is right, 20 goals. Huge record for Bruno Fornaroli. And let's see if he's got, who knows? There's still, 6 weeks left. If he bags another 8 goals in 6 weeks, that's a goal a game. A huge record. Well, no, we've got 5 weeks left. So if he scores 7 goals in 5 weeks, he's scored a goal every game. One of the best records in A-League history. So fantastic there from Bruno Fornaroli. The win sees Melbourne City 4 points from the top, while Sydney FC have finally dropped out of the top 6 for the first time this season. The fourth game of the weekend saw my team Melbourne Victory beat a 10-man Central Coast 2-0. Quite a good result for the boys. Melbourne Victory were without Ansel, Bazanik and Barbarouses for the fixture, as they were forced to play a slightly rotated side. Now, I did not do a match review for this one. I was away. I wasn't able to watch the game. So, unfortunately, there is no match review for Melbourne Victory this weekend. But don't worry, there should be one this coming weekend. So, let's get excited for that. But we still managed to pick up a 2-0 win. It's fantastic to see. Barisha finally getting himself back on the score sheet. He opened up the scoring in the 12th minute when man of the match, Jyingham, put in a fantastic cross, which saw Barisha get in front of the defender and make it 1-0. Now, Jyingham, ever since that Champions League game, incredible. absolutely incredible. He is definitely a good player. With Costa Barbarouses announcing that he is leaving to Wellington next season as a marquee player, well, Jai Ingham, you've got some boots to fill, and I think you're going to do a bloody good job. So keep it up, Ingham. You're doing well. Now, Mickey Neal put the Mariners in real trouble when he was sent off in the 48th minute after picking up a second yellow card. So nearly a full half with 10 men. Central Coast already at the foot of the table. Finals is done. Really, it's damage control, but they couldn't even do that. Melbourne Victory did fail to put the nail in the coffin until the 90th minute when Jai Ingham whipped in across to Kelfella. We saw him slot home to make it 2-0 and game, set, match. Now, the win sees Melbourne Victory stay in at the top six and slowly catch the pack at the top. And Central Coast look worse and worse by the week. We already know that I've just said no finals, the season's done, and now they failed to register a shot on target during the whole fixture. Central Coast, what are you doing? What are you doing? You need to work on your things. Luis Garcia was supposed to be the inspiration. Well, it happened for a game, and then things just crumbled back down to reality for Central Coast. So unfortunate there. But then the final game of the weekend saw Perth Glory down a 10-man Newcastle Jets 2-0. I saw this game live. It was an absolute perler. I loved it. The experience was fantastic. I should have a vlog out for you in the next few days. Hopefully I can get it out by the weekend. Fantastic performance from Perth Glory. I'll tell you that. They honestly looked a lot better than Newcastle Jets. And I'll tell you what, the fans were loving it. 11,000 rocked up to the stadium. Was quite well. And I'll tell you what, I had the time of my life. Andy Keogh finding the score sheet. Trifunovic copped a bit of a knock. He was bleeding. He was bleeding, he had to go down the tunnel just before half time and then get stapled and back on the pitch he went. But a fantastic performance from Perth Glory. Couldn't have asked for anything better. Kenny Lowe has really turned things around for Perth. Technically they did finish third last season, but then after their salary cap problems, they were kicked out of the top six. But now they're back in the top six. There's only 5 weeks left to go. I'm sure they can get a decent spot for the finals. Can they even overtake fifth? I don't know if they can overtake Melbourne Victory. There is possibly too much of a gap there. But who knows? Anything is possible this season. So, Aaron Williams had a great run down the right-hand side. A first-time cross which Keogh managed to put past Birighetti. It was 1-0, a lovely headed effort. Keogh celebrated with Aaron Williams straight away. He knows how good a cross that was. Fantastic from Williams. Castro slotted through. Williams, what a run he made to get to that ball. Fantastic. Now, Mullen did not help Newcastle at all when he was sent off for the Jets at the hour mark when he received his second yellow card. Cynical challenge. He needs to learn from his mistakes. It's that simple. You shouldn't be putting your team in that much pressure. But then Sandor added the second for Glory within 2 minutes after the halftime break. So they're already 2-0 down. Then Mullen gets himself sent off. You can't be doing that. You honestly can't. But Castro picked up the ball inside the box after Ugurgovic made a mistake. Birighetti was closing down Castro, Castro was on the right-hand side. Birighetti trying to close the gap. Castro looks up, sees the run of Sandor. He plays a lovely weighted pass to Sandor, who's got no one in between him and the back of the net. All he does is slots home. It's 2-0, and that is pretty much game. And then the red card for Mullen just killed the game off for Newcastle. And Perth Glory were smooth sailing for the rest of the game. So a good win for Perth Glory sees them climb to the top six. Finals place for Perth Glory is good to see. While Newcastle could have overtaken Perth Glory this weekend, the slip up from Sydney FC could have also helped Newcastle. That hasn't been the case. So now we will go to the A-League ladder and see how things stand. So what do we have here? We do have Adelaide United at the top of the table for the first time this season. 14 games unbeaten has shown that they can do anything. 14 games unbeaten. That means they've got 11 wins and the 3 draws. So, after 8 rounds, they're on 3 points. They've managed to get 36 points in 14 games. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. So Adelaide United deserve to be at the top of the table after that. Western Sydney have dropped. They suffered defeat to the likes of Brisbane Roar, which was not good for them. Western Sydney still could have been top. They could have had a 2-point gap at the top. That hasn't happened, and Brisbane Roar do close the gap now, which it's really closed the gap for everyone, because now Melbourne City only 4 points off in 4th. They could still win it, If any of these teams upset Adelaide United, they could still win it. Now we go to my team, Melbourne Victory. 33 points. I don't think we're going to win the title. 5 points off the top with 5 games left to go. We can do it, but we can't afford to lose the game. 5 draws isn't good enough. We need to win 4. If we win 4, we might have a chance, but still, I don't rate our chances. I think top 3, even top 3, I think we're pushing 5 points from top 3. It's 6 points from top of the table. It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. But then we do have a look. Perth Glory do jump into the 6. They've now got a point over Sydney FC. They're only 2 points behind Melbourne Victory. So Perth Glory, if they continue some form, they could even finish as high as 4th, which would be huge for them. But Perth Glory do make the 6th. Sydney drop out of the 6th for the first time this season. 30 points. I think they haven't had a win in their last 7 in the league, which is terrible for them. Now, Sydney FC haven't won away. They haven't won away from New South Wales. So they haven't won in Melbourne. They haven't won in Perth. They haven't won in Wellington. So that's poor form from Sydney FC. Graham Arnold having a real tough time. Now he reckons they can still make the final 6. If Perth Glory keep playing the way they do, mate, you're not going to make it. I'm sorry. Newcastle Jets, they did lose to Perth Glory. They had have won this weekend, could have been a completely different story. They could have been in 7th, 1 point behind Sydney FC, but that's not the case anymore. 5 points from the 6. They can still make it. I'll tell you what, they can still make it, and it's a fair shout, but I don't think they're going to do it. Wellington Phoenix currently in 9th. Season to forget for them. Barbarossa is their next season, so they are looking forward to that. And then Central Coast, we already know their story. No point talking about it. They're done. They are done. Now, Bruno Fornaroli tops the goal scorers chart with 20 now. I think he's uncatchable. He needs, as I say, he needs 7 in his next 5 to be a goal a game striker. But 20 is still fantastic from 27 games. You can't complain about that. Cannot complain about that whatsoever. Borussia added 1 to his tallies on 15. McLaren added 2. He's on 14. Aaron Moy has 10. And Diego Castro also has 10. Now we go to assists. Aaron Moy tops it. Is he on 18? No, he's still on 17. Mark Bridges 6. Broich on 6. Neville on 5. And Barbarossa on 5 as well. Saves. Thomas Sorensen still. Birighetti is slowly getting there. Then Glenn Moss, Kovic, and Paul Izzo round out the 5. Completed passes. Corona still up there. No one's going to catch him. The passing team of Brisbane Roar managed to outpass Western Sydney Wanderers and pick up a win this weekend. And most clearances, Matthew German on 78. Durante 1 behind him on 77. Poscaliero on 74. Mullen on 71. And Del Pierre on 70. So still anyone's game there. But that is it for my review of the fixtures of week 22. If you've enjoyed it, don't forget to smash the like button. Subscribe to see more Hyundai A-League content. And hopefully I catch you guys on another video.